Hey there, fashion bosses, how are you doing? Welcome to today's class. So in today's class, we are learning how to cut this pencil skirt. So I am really going to make it extremely beginners friendly. Okay, so and as such, I'm going to take it segment by segment. Today's class is just to learn how to cut this skirt. All right, let's go to the cutting table. Welcome to today's class. But before we start, I'd like to use this great opportunity to welcome all you loyal subscribers, returning subscribers that always comes back to our channel to watch our tutorial video. And I will say, if this is your first time on this channel, please know that you are not at the wrong place. This is a place to be. Okay, so I will say welcome to Fashion Boss Innovations Academy. Do well to subscribe if you've not. 86% of the people watching this channel are actually not subscribed, and that is not fair. So I beseech you in God's name to kindly do well to subscribe. And whilst at that, tap on the bell. The bell enables you to get notifications each time we drop tutorial videos. We have tutorial videos on all kinds of sewing. Okay, we have videos on headwear such as turban, fascinators, hats, auto gele, headbands, and the likes. And then we add spice to your training or studying, as the case may be. We also have short story videos for you as you watch and learn. You also click on the African stories, African folk tales. We have a lot of the stories also on this channel just to spice up things for you. They said, oh, work and not play make Jack a dull boy, right? My name still remains Faith Abraham, creative director of this great channel. Okay, so in today's class, I'm going to be teaching us how to cut and sew a basic pencil skirt. Aha, it is extremely beginners friendly. Okay, this is based on popular demand from a few people here and there, because we already have on the channel how to cut and sew a pencil skirt, but with hip and butt allocation. But this very one is just going to be basic how to cut and sew a pencil skirt. So come along with us as we go. So I have my fabric cut out already. I'm going to be cutting. We are going to be cutting both the front panel and the back panel. This is for the front panel, and this is for the back panel. So what do you do? And what are the basic measurements you require? Your waistline, your hip circumference, and the length excuse me, the length of the skirt. Okay, so what you will do after getting those measurements, I said your waistline, okay, your hip circumference, and then the length of the skirts. Okay, so the next thing you do after that is to divide your hip. That is, if your hip is the biggest part of those measurements. Okay, some people's hip are bigger, some people's waist can actually be bigger than their hips. So what do you do? If your waist is bigger than your hip, all you need to do is dividing your waist by 4. If it is your hip that is bigger than your waist, you divide your hips by 4. In a nutshell, it is the bigger measurement you will use to cut out your fabric. Hope you understand. Yes, I do. Okay, so my hip is 42. I divided it by 4. I got 10.25, and then I added 3 inches allowance to it. You can add 3 inches or 4 inches. That is for the front panel. The back panel is the same thing. The difference is that you need to add 2 inches more allowance to it. This 2 inches now is for the zippers. Is if you are adding zip. Now, 2 ways you can make the skirt without lining it, without using lining for it. Okay, so this is the lining we are going to be using for the skirts. I'm going to line it. If you don't want to line it, you don't have to add 2 inches for zippers. You can just use 1 inch because you are not using lining. Hope you understand that. All right, so I already have my zipper allowance rolled out already, 2 inches. Okay, it is 2 inches. You see, 2 inches, right? So I place my front panel on the line of the zipper. This will enable us to have accurate drafting. So I'm just going to measure this line. This line is going to represent our starting line where all our measurements will start from. Okay, hope you can see what I'm doing. That is our starting line. That's line over there. Okay, so this is our starting line. So the next thing for us to do is to take our hip length or hip line. So the measurement we are going to be using for the hip line. The hip line is where your hip is going to be marked on. Okay, so we are going to use 8 inches. We can use between 8 and 9 inches depending on the length of the person one and depending on the size of the person. Okay, so for this we are going to be using 9 inches because the person is tall. So I'm just going to, I'm placing my tape rule on this starting line. Okay, so 9 inches, right? And then after this hip line, I'm going to measure my nail line. Okay, so you will measure from your waist to your nail. Whatever you have there, you put it down. So I'm going to come here. The nail line is 26.5, but I'm going to minus 2 inches and make it 24.5 so that it is properly fitted. Okay, so it is because this skirt is a bit longer than the nail area. In a situation whereby the length of your skirt is just on your nail, on your knee, you don't need to do this nail line because the nail line is already your your the length of your skirt. Hope you get that. The length of the skirt right now is, oh, okay, so we missed out something. Let me take you back. So the skirt is going to have a band, okay, on the waist area. So you will determine how big you want your band to be, okay? And then you will minus it. So I want the band of this skirt to be 1.5 inch, okay? 1.5 inch, that is what I want. So what do you do? I'm going to put out my tape rule on 1.5 inch. I'll put out my tape rule this way. Every measurement we are going to be doing, we are going to be putting out our tape rule on 1.5 inch. That is minusing the band. So by the time we are done with the skirt and we are fixing the band, we fix the band, the length will be complete. Okay, so I'll put my tape rule on 1.5 inch and then I'll take my hip line again, which was 9 inches. Okay, it was 9 inches. And then I'll go to my knee, which was 24 inches, whilst my tape rule is still out there. And I will mark. And then the length of the skirt, I'm cancelling this one. The length of the skirt is 30 inches. I'll come to 30 inches. I will mark 30 inches. And then you add 2 inches seam allowance. I will mark my 2 inches seam allowance. Yeah. Okay. So whatever we have there, we'll do the same thing here so that we can get a straight line. I put out my tape rule on 1.5 inch. I'll take my hip line. Okay, we've already taken this one. We look for my knee. I'll take it. And then I look for the length of the skirt, which happens to be 30 inches. I'll take it. And then we added 2 inches seam allowance. Okay, I'll take it. I'll grab my ruler and then make a straight connection. If you've watched this video to this point, please endeavor to subscribe. If you have not, please don't go away without subscribing, please. Okay, so just connecting the rows together, the lines together. We have online classes. If you're interested in our online classes, please send a direct message to the line or the number that is displaying on your screen right away. Okay, so we have those lines. After doing this, the next thing for us to do is to measure, take our waist measurement, and is to take our waist measurement. So our waist measurement for this class is 33 inches. So you're going to divide that 33 inches by 4. This is what we have. 33 divided by 4. We have 8.25, okay? 8.25. So I'm going to impute my 8.25. Please note that you are not starting your 8.25 from the zipper allowance. You will ignore the zipper allowance. Your measurement is starting from, this front panel, this angle. So I'll impute my 8.25, which is for my waistline here. And then the skirt is going to have a dart. We'll include 1 inch dart, okay? And then we'll add 2 inches for seam allowance. 2 inches. We'll come to the waistline and we'll come to the hip line rather and divide it by 4. The hip is 42 inches, divide by 4. You are going to have 10.5. So I'm going to impute my 10.5 here. Okay. Impute my 10.5 there. Okay. And then we have a total of 3 inches on the waistline. We are going to bring that here. The reason why I'm using 3 inches for this, even though the dart is not going to get to the hip, is because we want to have enough allowance on the inside so that when the client adds some weight, she can have fabric to play along with when that time comes. Okay, so having done this, we are now going to come to the knee line. Okay, so if for it to be fitted, okay, what you will do is divide your hip into 4 again and minus 1. So having divided the hip into 4, we had 10.5. We are going to minus 1. It then will remain 9.5. So we are going to impute that 9.5 here. And then also add our 3 inches seam allowance. Okay. Having done that, we'll measure everything that we have here, which happens to be 12.5 inches, and then we'll bring it to this standpoint, the length of the skirt, and also to the allowance we have here. Okay, so guys, we are done drafting this pencil skirts. Okay, so for that one that we deducted from this knee, you can also go ahead to deduct up to 2 inches. It depends on how fitted you actually want it to be. Note that not everybody likes their skirt or their dresses to be too tight. Okay, so you watch the caliber and the nature of people you are doing each project for. That will guide you on how fitted you want their outfits, how fitted you should make their outfits. Okay, so I'm just going to connect from the waist now to the hip. Okay, from the waist I'll connect to the hip. Okay, and then from the hip I'll connect to the knee. Okay, So that is what we have, and then we'll connect to the length. So can you see how beautiful it is looking? It's already looking, you see how the hip took its form and shape. It's looking very beautiful. Okay, so at this point we are just going to cut out. So like I said earlier, I have a tutorial video on this channel on how to allocate butt and hip allocation, or how to draft a pencil skirt allocating hips and butt allocation. So if you see those ashebis that they are doing now, those outfits, you see how proper the bum is sitting on the dress or on the skirt. That is what they do. So check for the video. I'm going to drop the link, on the description. So you just click on it and learn how to do that. Okay. Okay, guys, so this is what we have. So it's a skirt. Okay, see how beautiful it is looking. I'm just going to notch the zipper allowance area. Okay, so we are going to take our darts. So from here to this point, from the front panel line, we'll take our darts. So you know how to get your darts is to divide your nipple to nipple by 2. Okay, and add 0.5 inch to it. So the client's nipple to nipple is 8 inches. I divide by 2, I'll have 4. So I'll just add 0.5 inch to it, making 4.5. Okay, so that is going to be seated here. And then I'll come down by 5 inches, by 6 inches. Okay, I will confirm my darts line. I'll make a straight line. Okay, I'll mark out 0.5 on both sides. 0.5 on both sides. So 0.5 here, 0.5 here, and then we'll connect it to the darts leg like that. And like this. So that's where we are going to be taking at that. So I'll just notch it. And that's how we are going to hold our darts. Okay, so we are going to use this right now to cut the lining for it. Alright, so in this class I'm going to be showing you how to cut lining for your pencil skirt. I told you that it is strictly for beginners. Okay, so the link is on the description below. Click on it and see the next step to how to make your pencil skirt. You are going to see how to cut your lining and other things you need. Click on the link below. Okay.